After school every day, I would take the school bus, and as soon as I would get home, I would get on this gaming computer I had, and every day I would play Valorant. And the only other thing that I would do is sometimes I'd go play tennis. And after a while, I started to get super bored at the end of every day because my dad ended up taking away my gaming computer. He was like, "Finn, you're playing way too many games." He took it away and I was really upset for a while. But after about 1 or 2 months, something really interesting happened. I was spending all my time at this gym center where you can go play basketball there. You can go to the gym there. There's another section where you can go play video games. I would go there every day and I would spend my entire day of every day of the summer, all day I'd be there playing basketball with some other people, and then I'd go to the gym for a little bit and run maybe, and then I'd go back play some 2K. And every day I was staying out of my house because I had nothing better to do at home than sit around and get bored as shit. It became a time where I got really sick of this because it was getting repetitive. All I was doing was playing basketball, going to the gym, and I was at first still meeting a lot of people. But then something really interesting happened. Because after a while, every day I would just be lying around in this gaming center, kind of just floating around, not really doing anything. But one day I looked down at my phone and there was this girl on my Snapchat, and on her Snapchat story she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm throwing this party, anybody can come, just pull up, it's at this location," which happened to be 10 minutes from my house. And at the time I have really strict parents, and there was no way in the fucking hell that they were gonna let me. I was actually really young. I was a teenager, but I just told obviously don't lie to your parents, but I did lie to my parents because I wasn't gonna pass up on this opportunity. And I said that I was going to hang out with one of my friends who was also called Finn, and we ended up going to this beach together. And after, I'm pretty sure he had to leave last second, so it was literally just me going to this party by myself. And I got there and there was only 5 or 6 people there. And I remember I was quite nervous. I was quite a quiet kid, and I went up to this one group of people sitting in this circle, kind of campfire kind of vibe, because this was by the beach. I was like, "Oh, is this party? Is this her party?" I don't want to say the name on YouTube, but she was this girl that I was speaking to. Yeah, this is a party. Oh, it's so nice to meet. I am blessed by God. That was such a friendly girl. And she kind of introduced me to some of the other people. And it turned out everyone there was quite a, welcoming. There was a lot of people that were just starting to meet each other that night. And so throughout the night, I feel honestly, I didn't have super good social skills. I wasn't super warm and friendly, but I would just keep trying. I just believed in myself a little bit, It wasn't an aggressive belief in myself. I wasn't overconfident. I wasn't confident, but I just still kept trying to speak to people, kept introducing myself. There was 1 or 2 people I'd known because I'd played basketball with them in the center. One other guy that was there, I'm pretty sure I played tennis with him when I was 4 years old. So I'm quite lucky that I knew a few people there. But at first I didn't think I did. And I was starting to speak to everyone. And after a while, I started to go out with these guys every weekend. And this was a beautiful experience. And especially as when I was super young, I got to meet a lot of people. And, there was definitely an element of me doing a lot of dumb shit, as a lot of teenagers do. But in the end, I still got this outcome where I now had met this whole group of people. Maybe they're not all on the best path, but at least I have a friend group that treated me with respect. Now, instead of before, I just didn't really have any friends, or the friends that I have weren't they weren't really most of them weren't that really respectful to me. That friend group started to end. People started to leave. This thing called COVID was going around, and a lot of people were leaving the town, and the friend group kind of fell to parts. Obviously I still have a lot of friends from back then. After a while, I learned that these guys weren't actually the best tier friends, because whenever I would hang out with them, some of them, especially one of them, he would we've gotten over it now, and he's a good person and everything, nothing against him, but he was really mean to me, and he always made fun. I was the butt of every joke, just from him. The rest of the friend group was all nice to me. Nowadays, when I hang out with my friends, it's nothing like that. And this friend group fell apart. There were still some people who weren't as respectful. I wanted to give this info because it's not like I suddenly went to one party and everything was all like cherries and roses. Life didn't just become easy after that. Of course, it became a lot easier, but I just wanted to share that, like, even once you start to become like more social, the problem that arises is like your friends might not always be super kind, and you always just got to keep finding better people to be surrounded by. And that's after a while, I started getting close to the people that I grew up in school with most of my life. And there was this guy who, honestly, we hadn't hung out that much when we were like, yeah, we'd been friends the entire primary, secondary school, but we stopped hanging out until I left the school. And then we reconnected, and it turned out that I was like getting into all this meditation, gym stuff. And we really connected over that. And like when we were young, we were just immature. We weren't always like the nicest to each other. But after a while, we just like respected each other and we became way closer.